Ba, 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 ba. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Unmuted, where cat people speak out on and off topic. Today's topic is living in the Meow. Today's special guest is DQ, Daniel Quagliozzi. Never get his last name right. I don't know. Maybe I got it right this time. He is the owner-operator of Go Cat Go, based out of the San Francisco Bay Area. He is a cat behavioralist, and he's coming in right now. Are you guys ready? Let's see. Are you there?
I am. Hold on one second.
No worries. I'm recording, but don't worry. I can edit things.
Here I am.
Hi.
Hello.
How are
How are you? I'm all right. I'm hanging in there.
Yeah. It's crazy, right? It's just
Every day is the same.
the hardest part, right? The hardest part is that every day you're like, here we go again.
Here we are again. Yeah.
How is it up there? I know that for a while it was dusty, or there was some crazy pollution issues, right?
Yeah, we had wildfires for, a spell during the, I don't know, I'm probably like September or October, I'm not sure, but we're fine. We're warm. We're warmer than everybody else. And we just would like it to rain, I think.
You can have some of our melted snow in Chicago. How's that?
Is it real snow? It's not that.
Real snow. It's like it falls and it stays. It's not like this everybody in Texas where I used to live was like, what? And I'm like, oh, I'm buried. I'm so buried. But I bet you it's great. I love San Francisco. I love the Bay Area. It's one of my favorite places.
Yeah, I think everybody right now is like thinking like, where should I go? Because where I am right now isn't the way it used to be. So everybody's sort of seeking these new living experiences, and I just keep thinking to myself like, this is where I need to be. Like, this is where I'm supposed to be. It's where I've been for 20 years.
Yeah.
So more, actually, almost 25 now.
Yeah, I needed to get out of Austin because it was because of me, but it wasn't a geographical cure or anything. Like, I was moving for a specific reason, and the area didn't matter, and I needed to grow a little bit, for me. So that was interesting. I miss it a lot because it's a little California down there, but
yeah.
But there's things happen. I was like before all this, like so so I'm excited because I know you well enough, I guess, compared to maybe the general population. I know what you're up to and I know what you do. I've always been curious about your tag phrase, living in the Meow. And I'm excited to hear about like what that means to you and how far down the rabbit hole this goes for you. So
Sure. Yeah. Well, like living in the Meow or live in the Meow is something I've said since I started doing this work, because there's a thing I realize about cats from the get-go, and it's that you have to surrender to them. You have to let go of a lot of bullshit. And the human brain fills you with all kinds of emotional equivalents of what you think a cat is doing and why. And sometimes, their motives are more based in science than they are in, your own like emotional toll. And there's a part about cats that I respect, and it's that they are present. They are very much sitting in the moment and reactive to the things that happen in their life and around them, but mostly they're sitting in presence. And I find that when you too sit in presence, when you are sitting with a cat and you have no intentions, your intentions can't be read, you're just sharing space. That is when you get the payback that we so desperately want from cats. It's it's a puzzle we're trying to solve. How do I get this animal to trust me? And trust is love, right? We're just trying to get that, squeeze that out of this creature, and we don't always get it as easy as we would like it to be. So for me, living in the meow is understanding how they see the world, how present they are, and how unpresent we are, and how just failed our thinking is, and how that gets in the way of understanding them. So when I talk to my clients, I do a lot of uh, I try to integrate mindfulness practices into how we spend time with our cats, how we spend time with ourselves, and live in the meow is just a nice way of, like, everyone understands, like, live for now, live in the moment, right? Like, this is
Yeah.
new age thinking, and it's now integrated into everything. You see it in commercials, right? People meditating. It's very much, thankfully, part of our, I think, our human evolution. And I think understanding cats, you have to kind of, you've got to slow down. And before I was saying live in the meow, I was saying surrender yourself, not your cat, because
Mm.
the whole reason I started this was because I was the guy you were surrendering cats to.
I know you have a lot of experience in rescue at the Humane Society up there. Is that correct?
SF, San Francisco SPCA. Yeah,
SPCA. Sorry.
yeah,
I know they are slightly different. Um,
yeah.
one of the biggest things that comes to mind for me and this whole concept is the idea that humans I can't say this word ever, just like I can't say your last name, by the way. Anthropomorphize, I'm not doing it right. Their animals so much. They put these human qualities onto their animals so much that it it you're losing sight of that meow moment. I mean, we are just living in the past of all of our grudges and things, and in the future of what we think where are we gonna move, are we gonna stay here, and
Right.
then we put these voices on our animals. I do it all the time, and I think what they're thinking. I think what they're thinking and what they're saying. How do you feel about all that?
Well, okay, so I'm doing a lot of Zooms. I mean, this
Yeah.
COVID has been good to me, because people can find me and they can talk to me this way. And I was just talking to somebody that they sent me a plethora of videos of them interacting with their cats, and it's a little kitten and an older cat. And what I see is an older cat who just wants to play with this little kitten. But the human beings, every time this cat ramps up the speed and just goes like, oh, whoa, 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 they stop the cat. They move them apart. They
Hmm.
chase them from room to room when they're trying to interact. And I just said to them, like, I think you need to back the fuck off. Like, you're pushing too hard.
Yeah.
There's you're swallowing all the air in the room. These cats will work things out. I mean, we don't let cats fight it out, but we do let them introduce themselves in a way that is free. And we compromise their sense of free will all the time because we have impulsive things that we want. Maybe we don't want them on a counter, we move them, and we do things that take away their sense of making a decision. And cats are punk rock. They rebel, they resist. And we, the human being, have egos, and we take it personally. So a lot of what I do is walking people out of control issues and talking them through PTSD from a cat peeing on their pillow, and trying to let them understand that, like, maybe your cat pees on your pillow not because they're, like, mad at what you're doing. It may, strangely enough, be happening in compliment to like your connection, and
Ah,
that's a place where
interesting.
they feel safe. So there's a lot of reverse
Yeah.
thinking that some people are just like, holy shit, like, I wasn't even thinking that. Like, so I'm like, just do less, be furniture, like, just be present with your cat. Stop, stop doing what
Living
you're
in the
doing.
living in the furniture. Wait, that doesn't quite fly. Um, I actually have a cat that pees on the bed. I know that it's a medical condition, and it's taken me a long time to dislodge taking that personally.
Yeah,
Taking that like I did something wrong, or she's mad at me, or she's afraid. No, she just gets crystals, and there's not much I can do about that. And the only thing I can do is make sure she's like she gets bedroom access, but only when I'm present. That's it. That's the solve. And then leaving it at that. But I still have a hard time letting go. of the taking it personal, because that's what we do. you know.
Yeah, we
Um,
get wrapped up in possessions
mhm.
and aesthetics and preservation of our. I mean, our homes are our safe places, ever even more now than ever before. We're home a lot, but also because we're home a lot, we have now invaded the space and time of cats who normally had that time to kind of flip off into airplane mode and just be half awake all day. Now we're like around.
Like, what are you
And
doing? What are you doing? What are you
yeah,
doing?
so it presents them with like either opportunities to ask for more constantly, like, wow, now like maybe I can get fed a few more times because they're around. Or they're like, okay, back off. I know you're needy right now, but like I need to sleep on top of the fridge for an hour just to get
Yeah,
a food for
yeah, yeah, yeah. So today's topic is back off, humans.
you.
I like that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Let me think. Is there? So how do you pronounce your last name?
It's Quagliozzi. If you
Quad,
just silent G,
silent G. The Z's are there.
the Z's are there. So it's just Quagliozzi. And
Quali
this is why I ask for folks to call me DQ. So you don't
Q.
even have
Yeah.
to worry about that.
Don't worry, that's in the intro. Just DQ. Um, wow. I'm gonna move on to my questions. Because this is my show. And
Yeah.
so what got you hooked onto cats? What was that moment? You can tell me a little bit about the backstory as well.
So I referenced a little bit like the puzzle, right? The trust puzzle.
Hmm.
This, I think, is what gets all of us is that if you're uninitiated, like I think I was, honestly, when I moved here to San Francisco at the age of 25, and I lived in New Jersey my whole life with my parents, in the suburbs. And we didn't have cats. We had a dog when I was like a little kid, but we didn't have cats, and we certainly didn't really think of them as pets or companions in any way. We thought of them as nuisances that traversed our yard and our neighbors, it was their problem. So when I moved out here, I was face to face with community cats. We didn't have that in the suburbs. We didn't have city cats that just walk through your yard and hang out on your porch, and you know they're semi friendly but kind of like standoffish. And I found myself intrigued by that. I was living in Oakland, and I it was the first place I moved, and uh, there are cats in the yard. And I was like, how do I get these cats to get on the deck? And how do I now get them to walk closer to me? Next thing, I'm like, well, I'm just going to leave the kitchen door open, see who walks in. And
A challenge, or did you actually want to befriend these cats?
I wasn't sure. I
Yeah,
really, I,
yeah,
at
yeah.
first, I was like, should I get them out? Should I turn the hose on these cats? Like, what do I do? But there was one in particular, and this taps into my goth sensibilities. This was a beautiful, large black cat that
Always.
was vocal and friendly. And I immediately name him. I'm like, you're Dante, and you're going to hang out with us during the day, and we'll let you out at night. Well, then we stopped letting him out, and we just kept him in. I don't know whose cat that was. I'm sorry if you're out there, but Dante lived a happy life with me and my housemates, and then we moved and we took him, and he went on another journey. So I, at the same time, I had some friends, and they all had cats and liked cats, and this is what starts my intrigue and what walks me in the door of the San Francisco SPCA as a volunteer in 2002. And that's it. The doors blast open, and I'm now in a shelter, all the cats you can touch, you
Yeah,
know.
like you're just
Uh,
humping cats all day long, like that's just sort of how it works.
yeah, and I was unemployed, so when I started volunteering, I had left, back in the early 2000s. There's that dot-com explosion that happened, and I was part of that loosely. And I joined the shelter, and I never left. I stayed there for 13 years.
Mm.
And so that's, I think your next question is like, when do you know this is it? Like,
Yeah,
yeah, right?
now that you're hooked, when
Yeah.
did you what happened when you woke up? Like, what was that moment where you just like opened your eyes and was like, this is it forever. Like I'm pretty sure that cats will be a part of my life forever and ever. Like no turning back is what I like to think of it as.
I want to say when I was leaving the shelter to start a business,
Hmm.
I thought this is now your livelihood, and
That's like 13 years later, right?
yeah, cats got to pay your rent, right? So,
Yeah.
um, but I would be lying if I said through this journey of almost 9 years of doing this now, um, as a private consultant, that I haven't, in my mind, walked away or decided I couldn't do it anymore,
Yeah.
or that I was burning out, or quite honestly, running your own business as a sole proprietor and a contractor and a freelancer, you don't always get clients. And
Mhm.
sometimes a month goes by, and that's when you start to doubt yourself. And I've had that over the years. It's changed. There's been momentum every year. I grow and grow, and I now I'm at the point where I'm like, they need you now. I mean, you
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people depending on you. And last year, 250, something like that, new clients I talked to last year.
You mean 2020,
Yeah,
right?
that
Is
yeah,
yeah, so
yeah,
I could imagine. They're home
right.
now. Like you said, they're home
Oh, yeah,
now. And now they see all the things.
yeah. And now I'm 2 months in, and I've done like close to 60. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of cats.
Yeah.
That's almost triple what I would do if I drove to your house. I might do like 2 or 3 a week. Now I'm doing 15 a week.
Mm.
So, so there's a need for what I'm doing, and can I back out? I don't think so.
No, and for me, it's beyond just yes, my job is probably going to always surround myself with cats or other species, but probably cats, right? But even beyond that, like I don't see my life without cats. Like just that alone, I'm like I'm probably gonna have only short time periods without a cat because they're all crossing over in their lifetimes at this point. So that alone as well is like gonna be a big part. It's a big part of that question,
Yeah. I was
with a
just
lot of
thinking
story. Yeah.
maybe this was the turning point when you go ahead and
Yeah.
like do it on
Yeah.
your knuckles. Like I think honestly when I walked in there, it's like, yeah, let's do it. Like let's put the business cards on the hands. Like now it's cats. It's cats all over. So that's a turning point for sure.
No, yeah, no, there's no eraser for that. I mean, there is, but it's twice as expensive. So,
Yeah.
um, well, I mean, do you have any last words? Do you have anything else you want to make sure you get out there?
Um well, I know a lot of you out there are lonely, and you're adopting cats this year and last year. Um Make sure that if you decide to adopt a kitten, that it is the right thing to do. Because I've done a lot of kitten consultations.
Yeah.
There's a lot of overwhelmed cats and a lot of overwhelmed people, to be frank, that didn't know what they were taking on. 3 months after the kitten is this big,
Yeah,
and
they
then
grow up to be cats is the number one thing, right? They're like, well, now it's a cat. Like,
yeah,
they're like,
now he's
yeah.
11 pounds, and he goes on my ankle the same way he did when he was 2 pounds.
Oh my.
So I don't know. I guess my parting words are, you know, take some time, think it through. Even before you adopt, I can help you walk through that decision.
Mhm.
Like we can troubleshoot it together. So I'm available. I'm here. I'm out here.
Great. Well, thank you so much, DQ. And I appreciate this talk. And we might have to do this again sometime. We'll see.
I would be happy to be a regular, and I'm honored to be one of your first.
With that said, all right. Well, I should go. I think I've got plenty of content, and I'll probably be emailing you with some follow-ups things because I always like to add some fluff. So
Okay.
great.
You- All right. We
Yay!
all
Have
right.
a good day.
Take care. See you later.
Bye. Well, everybody, thanks so much for watching.